Hey, what's going on, guys? What you're looking at here is what the video is going to be on today. I got a request to do the comparison between a Paramilitary 2 and the Strider SNG. Alright, so I'm just going to get right into it and let's see what we come up with. First thing you notice in hand, I guess even before the weight, the Paramilitary 2, this is the carbon fiber model with the S90v. But I'm pretty sure the texturing between the carbon fiber and G10 is similar. The G10 is probably a little bit more grippy, but compared to my SNG concealed carry, either model of the Para 2 carbon fiber or G10 handle is grippier than the SNG. Obviously, because this is smoothed out concealed carry model. You guys have seen this before, but it is contoured and rounded, which is really cool. Definitely a great, neat feature that I wish more companies would do with their knives. And it's very smooth. The Be Blessed titanium does provide a little bit of a grip. It's not textured, but I don't know exactly how to say it. I'm sure you guys that have handled a Strider or Crucial know what I'm talking about. But it does provide some grip. It's surprising. Kind of similar to feel to, let's say, a Benchmade 940, the aluminum handles. That's kind of what this feels like. Surprisingly, there's grip there. Not too bad. The G10, kind of the same thing, but it's smooth. Here, the Paramilitary 2 definitely has grip. It's not very aggressive. I would say it's definitely less aggressive than like a cold steel. It's probably less aggressive than a regular, well, here you go. It's less aggressive than the Manix, which is G10. So, the second thing you would realize, or you notice when you pick them up, is weight. And it's not too much because neither are a heavy knife, but you'd be able to tell just from holding it. The SNG feels somewhat substantial. It definitely feels like there is metal in your hand. You're kind of holding something of weight, which is fine. It's great. I would like a hard use, or yeah, I would rather a hard use folder to feel substantial. Kind of it gives you confidence. Definitely does. So. I believe it's in the 4-ounce range. I think 4.2 or 4.8. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but it's around there. The Paramilitary 2 is definitely a lot lighter. It kind of feels like a feather in the hand, especially after holding something else. I don't know, it just feels so light. Doesn't feel like there's any metal in here, any steel. It feels great, honestly. Very light. But when you flick it out, it feels so solid. That lockup of the compression lock, which is one of my favorite locks, by the way. It just feels so solid when it locks up. There's not an ounce of blade play. I mean, literally, this thing is there's no blade play. You couldn't detect it on a microscopic level. I doubt it. I have heard some people say that the Para 2s have had some blade play with the compression lock. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos that show it. But mine, no. Maybe because this is a sprint run, but there's no blade play whatsoever. So, handle texture, this is definitely lighter than the Strider, but either one's easy to carry. I've carried both of them numerous times. No big deal. The one difference with carrying the knives, though, both carry well in the pocket. The Para 2 carries a little better within the pocket. And I generally associate that with the part that would be at the top of your pocket in the Para 2 is smaller. The Strider is the widest up top, where it would be at the top of your pocket, so it's going to take up a little more room where you want to try and get your hand in your pocket. So it's going to be a little tougher. If you have big pockets, like when I wear cargo shorts, I don't find this to be a problem. But wearing blue jeans, regular jeans, I do find it to be a little more noticeable that it's harder to get in your pocket with this knife in your pocket rather than the Para 2. Another great thing where I think the Para 2 has an edge over the SNG in carryability would be I can also carry this inner waistband. I love carrying knives inner waistband carry right around the 4 o'clock position. I think it's comfy as anything. I don't even notice it's there. People can never tell it's there, and but they're there and they're useful and they're handy. If you can have a knife with you, it's a lot more useful than a knife that you don't have with you. The Strider can be carried in her waistband, and I have done it. However, the one thing that stops me from doing it a lot is, one, it's wider up at the top, but also two, the thumb studs are a pinch wider than the knife. So it wasn't with the Strider, it was actually with a Three Sisters Forge tactical model. The thumb studs really stuck out, and when I went to extract the knife out of my pocket, or not, I'm sorry, not out of my pocket, from out of my waistband, the thumb studs got caught up, and it drew the knife kind of like a Emerson opening. So it kind of drew the knife, and it kind of spooked me. So I really don't carry something like this. I can foresee that possibly happening with the SNG or the SMF or a Strider due to the pronounced thumb studs, which are very useful. But I just don't know if I'd carry it there. Some people can, and it's not like it bothered me there, so it is possible. It's just I tend not to. This, however, can go there, disappears. No thumb studs. It's a very sleek look. So there's no worries. Nothing on this is going to get hung up on your belt, on your waistband, or something like that. Thickness. They're actually, surprisingly, they're actually just about the same thickness. If you can see that there. It might be a fraction of an inch or millimeters in difference. However, that's negligible. So I wouldn't even consider that. Let's go into the blades. So if you can see, the blades do look similar. They are similar. The knives are actually similar in features. They both have a finger choil. The Strider kind of has two. You can say that this has two. Definitely a great grip here and here. The blade lengths are very similar. The Para 2 is longer and has a kind of a constant sweep. So just slightly different style and slightly longer blade here. However, the difference is millimeters, so I don't know if that should play into your decision. As you can tell, the tip is bigger in the SNG. Sorry guys, trying to maneuver around my tripod. At the stock of the knife though, it looks like it's about the same. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but is the Para 2 a tad thicker? I'm not sure. They're close enough at the stock where they're pretty much the same, but the Para 2 thins out a lot quicker than the Strider does. And this is showing the Strider, and even though the Strider tip looks fairly thin and needle-like, I don't know why it's showing it like that there. It's honestly really not. It's a fairly thick tip. That's making it look fairly needle-like, but it's thicker than it appears. This is next to the Mannix too. The Strider's blade is a high hollow grind. I think they call it the high 3/4 grind. I've heard some people call it a slicer grind. But the Para 2, as most people know, is a full flat ground. This will be better for slicing. One, because the blade's pretty much the same thickness and it goes even up. Full flat grounds are just great for slicing through things. If you're cutting something with this, it might get hung up on the shoulders because of the high hollow ground. Not really a big concern. If they're both equally sharp, they should cut well. You shouldn't really see too many problems. The Strider is designed, I guess you can say, for harder use. Although I've seen videos where the Paramilitary 2's compression lock is extremely strong enough to handle anything that I'd ever use it for. So the strength of these is fairly similar for me, because I don't think I'm going to bring either one of these knives to the edge of their strength where they're going to be failing. I do like the compression lock, I guess, a little better. I love titanium frame locks. They're just fun to play with. They're cool knives. There's something about them that I just love. But Striders are known to wear quickly in the world of TI frame locks. It's not like it's going to wear out in a week or a month or something like that. But, I mean, if you beat the crap out of it, play with it a lot, Striders have been known to develop a little blade play and need to be sent back to the factory to get adjusted. Not a big deal. They handle it fine. It's just fact. The Para 2, I don't think so. I don't foresee this ever having blade play. It obviously will if I beat the crap out of it, but in everyday use, in my uses, where don't torture these knives. I don't see it. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about, guys? If you'll bear with me for a second. Okay, opening methods. They both have a bunch of opening methods. You can see they both have a hole. I've been playing with it recently. Thumb hole. You can flick them open. You can bring it down and pop it open like that. I feel like a knife that has many opening methods is more fun to play with. I'm carrying it more. It probably sees, oh, sorry about that, guys. It probably sees more pocket time. Same thing here. You can actually even argue that the Strider has more just because it has a hole on a thumb stud. So you can flick it open with the hole. You can flick it open with the thumb stud. You can flick it open like a Spyderco with your finger. I'm not as good with the Strider. I need a little wrist flick for it. And you can drop it kind of like this as well. I guess, did I go about talking about it in hand? I don't think I did, so let's do that real quick. It's starting to get a little long, so we're going to wrap this up soon, I hope. When I grab the Para 2, I grab it right here, and this just feels at home. This is one of the best grips on any knife that I've felt, bar none, hands down. You can't argue that. Well, for me, you can't argue that. If you guys have bigger or smaller hands than me, it might be different, but this is an amazing feel. I mean, I just feel at home. The knife's perfect size. My thumb goes up on that amazing thumb ramp with Spyderco's great jimping. Goes up well. You can choke up. This is very comfortable. One reason why I love the Para 2 better than the Spider, or the, sorry guys, better than the military. The bigger thumb choil. Choking up on this feels better than in the military in my opinion, and you can choke up on it. But this really feels at home. I love this blade. This is one of the best handles in my opinion. Here, back grip, you guys know my opinion on this. Not the biggest fan. I just feel that you're too disconnected from the blade. It's too far away. So this is my natural grip for the Strider, and like I said before in other videos, not too many companies make a better knife with a forward grip than Strider on their SNG. One thing I will give the Strider in handle or comfort and ergonomics, I feel like you generally have better tip control with the Strider, just because I'm used to holding the knife up top better. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once, guys, I'm sorry. I'm used to choking up on the knife in normal grip. And when in normal grip, I can really bring my thumb all the way up here and feel confident in this finger choil that I'm not going to slip up on the blade. So I feel like I can really have a good grip, or good tip control here. With the Spyderco Para 2, this is where it's comfortable for me to have a forward grip. This isn't honestly too comfortable with this knife. One reason because the finger choil isn't as large, so I kind of feel like there's a possibility I might slide over. I shouldn't be doing any kind of work or hard use when in this grip, so I don't foresee that happening if I do choke up on it, but I don't really think I would grip it like this. You know, I might come up here instead, but if I want to choke up, this is how I'm going to do it. Something like this, where my thumb's still on the jimping. So, I don't know if you can reach a conclusion to which one I like better. One more thing I wrote down, guys, is the detent. The detent in the Strider is very good. Normal shaking, you can't shake it out, but I mean, if I want to, I can. I don't know when it'd be shaking that hard, but it's possible. The Para 2, I'll be damned if somebody can shake this out, guys. I mean, like, if somebody can shake this out of the detent, I would love to see it. Please post a video, because I just don't think it can be done. And I think that also leads to why this the Para 2, every time you open it, I mean, it just flies open, because the detent's so strong to overcome. Once you do, that knife is flying open, which is a great design. Also, you can do the compression lock, kind of like an axis lock. Not that I demonstrated it there, but it's very quick. I love it. This knife is amazing to play with, and it doesn't seem to wear. So I feel like I'm going to be able to use this, and this is going to be in my rotation for a very, very long time. So the person who asked for this review, hopefully this was useful to you. You got what you wanted out of it. I don't think I can make a decision on what knife is better. Obviously, from what I said, I think this is going to slice better. This is going to be better for food prep. This is going to be better for everyday stuff, and the fact that it's going to be lighter, you're probably going to be able to have it on you more. It will glide through stuff better. I think it's going to be easier to maintain an edge when you do buy it. Like if you get the S90v version, it's going to be easier to maintain that edge because Spyderco put a very good bevel on this knife. It's very uniform and it's very good. So just having some sandpaper, a strop, anything, it's going to be easier to maintain this edge because it's uniform. The Strider edge, to me, this one was not uniform when I got it. On one side, it was shallower here and then steeper here. On the other side, it was shallower here, steeper here. So it was ununiform on the same side, and it was almost seemed like it was opposite on both sides. Not the biggest, not a huge problem. You can always reprofile it. This was shaving sharp, pretty much. On the very bottom end of shaving sharp coming out of the factory. This was absolutely shaving sharp coming out of the factory. This is one of the sharpest knives I've received out of factory. Whether it's because it's S90, but just Spydercos in general I receive, they're very sharp. So I guess, you know, this is no rocket science here, but this might be, you might consider this harder use if you're going hiking, camping. You might want to take this with you instead of this. However, I do think this can stand up to most tasks that you'll throw at it, even in outdoor use. It seems like a very solid knife. Like I said before, I haven't pushed them, so I couldn't tell you exactly. I'm kind of just speculating. Either way, both amazing knives. If you could get your hands on these to experience them, I recommend you do. The ergonomics are amazing. Just the build quality of these are some of the best. They're great. The Para 2 does have liners, but you can see they're deeply skeletonized. Just overall great knives, guys, and I'm going on for 17 minutes, so I'm just going to cut it off here. The person who requested this video, if anything else, if you want to know anything else, just drop me a line, let me know, and I'll try and shoot it for you. But hopefully you enjoy this. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry.